This is me, attempting a backflip. It's been 35 years, by the way. Yeah, that's not supposed to end well. But before we go there, there's actually quite some neuroscience involved in this. Let's have a look, shall we? So the other day we were at our friend's place and they have this big trampoline in their garden. My kids were jumping on it and trying to do some front flips. Well, they were having fun, but you could hardly call what they were doing a front flip. It was more like some jumping followed by a roll. You know, adorable. But not a front flip. So me and my big mouth, I went, why don't you try a backflip? That's way easier.
How'd you do that?
So they went, hey, can you do that? And I went, sure, show us. And I went, okay.
You know, eat your green vegetables.
That's how I ended up on that trampoline, attempting a backflip. I'm 47. It's been about 35 years I haven't done something like that. And here's the funny part actually. Somehow, I wasn't even sure I could do it. I mean, I do remember me jumping on bouncing castles when I was about 10. I remember front flips that I was able to pull off after many attempts, but the backflip, I remember trying, I remember being afraid of basically breaking my neck, but actually doing it and succeeding, I don't have a memory of that.
I have no memory. It's like looking into a mirror and seeing nothing but the mirror.
It's weird. So how do I know that a backflip is easier than a front flip? Well, I can do a back dive in a swimming pool, so maybe I'm just mixing up memories here. Anyway, the point is, I was jumping up and down that trampoline about to attempt a backflip and suddenly realizing I had no conscious recollection of how to do that.
All these secrets are buried in your brain.
And you shouldn't underestimate what's going on in our brain at such a moment. Throwing yourself backwards like that goes strongly against our survival instincts. Our limbic amygdala signals our primal brain to just freeze, to not do it.
Freeze, bitch!
Even if you want to do it, your instinct located in that primal brain, it won't let you. I had been watching my kids for 20 minutes, attempting to override their primal brain and failing at it. The moment you're going to do it, you just freeze. It stops you right in your tracks. It's a very strong mechanism. It is the same one that will make you freeze when you're about to jump out of an airplane or do a bungee jump for the first time. Or at the swimming pool, you know, those high diving platforms. I'm afraid of heights and I totally freeze on those. You can actually see me freeze twice before attempting the jump. I'm taking that bigger jump to gain momentum, you know, but then I don't do it. So there I realize I have to override my primal brain. And how do you do that? Well, you make your prefrontal brain in charge of the situation. Normally, once you've done a scary experience successfully a couple of times, well, the amygdala won't interfere anymore. But I didn't remember those successful experiences. So I had to override it manually.
Load the jump program.
Basically you go, okay, I might end up in the hospital here, so f it. And then you take your jump.
Free your mind.
No, just kidding. The truth is, I went with my cerebellum. The cerebellum is located in the back of the skull and is responsible for many things. And one of those is coordination of movement. The thing about the cerebellum is that it works on a non-conscious level. It is slow to learn and even slower to unlearn. So it takes quite a bit to learn something new, but once you have it, it stays there. You know how they say that you never forget how to ride a bike? Well, you have your cerebellum to thank for that. It's the same with skiing or ice skating. You only do it in wintertime, but you don't have to learn it all over again every single year, right? So when attempting that backflip, I was basically betting on my cerebellum to get things done. And now, looking at the footage, I see how I was instinctively taking that bigger jump to gain momentum. That already was the cerebellum in action. It wasn't me consciously thinking, hey, I should gain some traction here. No, it was my cerebellum taking over. And so I went all in, overriding the primal brain with my prefrontal brain and just trusting my cerebellum. And the result? Well, a pure dopamine release in my limbic brain. Oh yeah, I can still do this. But it was really weird though. A little bit like Matt Damon in the Jason Bourne films, where he discovers he can do all these badass things even though he has no active recollection of learning any of them. I discovered I can still do backflips after 35 years. That's enough badass for me. And my kids, they were like, what? it! I'm going to enjoy being their hero for a couple of years more. Once they reach puberty, I'm afraid I will need more than backflips to get their admiration. Yeah, I still got a couple of years to figure that one out. For now, I'll just be enjoying my newly found rockstar backflipping badass status. So have you rediscovered something you could do when you were a kid and didn't do for decades? Leave in the comments below. Now don't forget to like and subscribe. We have new episodes of this vlog coming out every week, and if you want the real stuff, you go to brainacademy.com. Join our 350,000 students and start using your brain better. Brain out.
Sharpen your mind.